on TV. So if your teeth ain't right, cover them up and the whole nine. We streaming. Make some noise. Take a look at the monitor.
You know, we consider ourselves the modern day Harriet Tubmans, to being able to, provide an opportunity for folks to have a family-winning career. And, just knowing that, we are mentored to folks to be able to help them transition into the fire service professionally is just like, it's amazing.
Chief Royal Ramey turned his past into a powerful path forward. A former inmate and wildland firefighter, he co-founded the Forestry and Fire Recruitment Program, a nonprofit that helps formerly incarcerated individuals build careers in firefighting and emergency response. Through training, mentorship, and second chances, he's transformed lives and challenged the system. A TED Fellow, Obama Foundation leader, and now a WayMaker, Making a Difference awardee, Chief Ramey is proof that redemption can light the way for others. Please welcome to the WayMaker stage, Chief Royal Ramey, our Making a Difference Award recipient.
What's up, Chief?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
We are so excited to have you here. You've had literally a real journey in life, all right?
Right.
So let's talk about your childhood, how you grew up, and then how you got incarcerated, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I actually was born in Houston, Texas. My mom and my dad kind of split up and ended up coming. My mom came to California, ended up being raised in the San Fernando Valley, and yeah, just was in the streets, My mom, she had a stepdad. He wasn't a mentor to me or nothing. He didn't really, care for me as much. So I kind of reverted to the streets and was out there, out there in the streets acting wild, and ended up leading me to incarceration. I was in juvenile hall, robbing folks and, hitting licks and, burglaries and stuff, and end up, just going to prison and stuff.
So what was the exact thing you were charged with and went to prison for?
So it was second degree burglary and second degree robbery, false imprisonment as well. Ended up running into some, T-Mobile stores and 7-Elevens, and I actually robbed a drug dealer too. So yeah, just out there in the streets and, running around a little bit.
So before we get into the incarcerations, talk to these young men about the battle of the streets versus doing the right thing. That's a real battle that a lot of us have had to wrestle with, all right? As you look back, what would you have done different and how would you have done that differently?
Honestly, when I'm gonna kind of take it to prison a little bit because I really realized that I had the power of choice. And when you feel like you're in an environment where you can't be successful, like that's where I think, or you don't have a game plan, or you don't know what you want to do, or you see yourself only like when it comes to being black, right, in an urban community, it's like you either got to be a drug dealer or be in the streets to be successful, or even be an entertainer in some way, sports or whatever. And that's how I kind of looked at it, as like either those are the two options that I had. And I think that's one of the things that really led me to my incarceration, because I wasn't good at sports. I could ball. I'm like 5'10". I love basketball, but I couldn't really ball like that. So, so when it comes to like the streets and the struggle, like you got to understand that there's other options of being successful. You don't have to be, an entertainer of some sort. You can also be a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, even a firefighter like myself. But I know one of the pieces, though, is the mentorship, and like seeing is believing for a lot of people. Like if you can see somebody that's in that position, right, I think, that gives you a little bit more hope. But I know a lot of people, their dreams get shot because they don't see they don't have the blueprint, or they don't know the way, and then they just revert to whatever they revert to. But I think you got to understand that going to prison and going that route is not gonna do nothing for you. Like, I know we heard a lot of folks, right, in our communities that, got, 5, 10, 15, 20 years in prison. And I know, like, everybody's born and not thinking, like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be incarcerated, right? Like, everybody wants, the house and the car, right, and a successful life. But it's just like, how do you make that happen? And I think one of the key pieces is having that faith and belief in yourself, especially if you get those words like of discouragement, right? Of like things you might be interested in, and just continue to, go after it. And also too, Google is your best friend, right? Like Google stuff, because sometimes like I didn't have a mentor, right, to be able to really teach me how to make things happen. But I think just being able to, be encouraged, like have that courageousness of wanting to do something and knowing that you can do it.
So when I read your story, you're in prison, and he learned how to be a firefighter.
Right.
I'm like, now I know prison teaches a lot of different courses.
Right.
But I never thought they taught firefighting. How did that come about? And is that a normal thing in prison, or that was just a special place you were that taught you those skills?
So it's 13 other states that utilize incarcerated people to fight wildfires. Since in California, it's been around since the 1940s. Thousands of people been through that program. It's called the California Conservation Camp, AKA like fire camp. And when I actually went to prison, at the time, it was overcrowded in California, so I had to go to a level 3 yard, which is a little bit a higher level than being able to be eligible to go to a fire camp. And at that time, too, it was overcrowded in California, so they actually sent me to Arizona and Mississippi. And I had the opportunity to go to my annual review, and they looked at my points, and it was like, oh, are you eligible to fire camp? And the first thing in my mind was like, what is fire camp, right? So I was like, hey, can I get some time to figure, get that, ask the question or be able to go or whatever? So I went back to the cells, and I talked to a couple of OGs, and it was like, hey, look, like fire camp is dope. Like, you're not in the cell, you're in a dormitory living, you have picnic-like settings, visits with your family, right? They pay, they give you better food. Like, it's a great opportunity. But little did I know, right, that I was actually going to be fighting fires in the front line, grinding, right? Got this 45-pound pack. I'm trading my my Jordans for these boots, right? In this little wilderness, like it was definitely a different feel of it. But when I was in prison and I was in fire camp, I actually fell in love with it. At first, it was mentally, emotionally, physically challenging, but I love a challenge. I was adrenaline junkie, and it kind of like grew on me, and I fell in love with it and wanted to pursue it as a career when I came home. And
how long is that training? How long is it? Is it a year, 2 years? How long is the training?
So at the time, it was like 2 weeks, 2-week training.
Wait a minute, you learned how to be a firefighter in 2 weeks?
So wildland firefighting, yeah. So it's some training that they give you, but they don't give you all the certifications that you need in order for you to be able to pursue it as a career when you come home.
And did you actually get real experience while you were there? So they would send you out to fight some fires, and then you go back to jail?
Yeah. You're going to get the experience. You're actually on the front line. You're doing a lot of things what the U.S. Forest Service, like Hot Shot Crews, are doing. Right there with the blazing, the fires, like you cutting line. I think you've seen that kind of like clip where, folks that have the hand tools. It's really grueling work, and yeah, you go to a fire assignment, say it could be 14 to 21 days assignment, and then you go right back to that camp, and yeah, you back technically in prison.
So they probably don't know, what was probably the most important fire you've had to fight in your history?
So I can say the first one obviously was the fire camp, or the campfire, which was in Paradise, California in 2018, where that whole town got decimated, right? But then when, obviously the LA fires, the Eden and Palisades fire, like, that was like crazy. Obviously, y'all know that really, took a toll on LA and even in the country, and people seeing like, this is LA. Like, LA is on fire, like, LA is burning up, and yeah, it's definitely crazy. But at that time, no, I was doing a lot of media too. So, I got my folks out there, they was making it happen for us.
Well, I watched your documentary, And for me, the thing that impacted me the most is how you were working with your team to get them to do it. And something that I can relate to, you told them, either you're going to do it or I'm going to do it by myself. All right? And you know, that's different than being corporate America. I've said that many times to my team. Either you're going to do it or I'm going to do it by myself. But you're going to fight a fire by yourself, all right? You know, where did that mentality come that you're going to put it all on the line to save people and property?
To be honest with you, I think being in the streets, like all the skills, talents, the abilities, or the things that I did while I was in the streets, it kind of translate over to the fire department, right? Like having that self-initiative, like being able to be that guy, right, that's out there and making things happen, and being, you know, just aggressive with it. And you can really do that. You know, we have a saying in the fire service, it's number 10 of the 10s, fight fire aggressively, having provided for safety first. And it's like, you know, having that mentality and knowing that, you know, it's just a serious business. It's not a game. Like, your life is on the line, and you got to make sure that, you know, your team understands the importance of really being proactive and making sure safety is involved, but actually putting that fire out and not playing games, you know.
Well, Chief Rainey, you have impressed us so much with the work. And before I go to this next segment, I think we got a surprise for you coming. I want you to tell these young men and those who are not so young, what is the real opportunity in being a firefighter in today's world?
So it's a great opportunity right now. So CAL FIRE is going to hire 2,400 firefighters in the next 5 years. We have a labor shortage in the forestry sector where it's going to be 9,400 forestry workers gap between now until 2028. And I think, like, when we want to get serious about, we talk about getting a bag, right? Like, this is an opportunity for you to be able to get the bag, you know, have purpose, value, and be looked at as a public servant. And I think one of the biggest things for us in our community, right, is that we don't see people that look like us, right? I remember when I was a kid, seeing those red engines drive by, right, and never see nobody that looked like me. And that's something that I never thought about, right? Now we got folks like to my left right here, you know, we got some chiefs over here too, that can be able to help pave that way for you. Entry-level position is about 60 to 100K a year with benefits, retirement, right? Like, and there's different options of fighting fire as well. So I think the biggest thing, though, to me, that I really want to express to y'all today is that it's two things when it comes to, like, being successful, right? Like, I remember I was talking to one of my OG partners, and he said, like, the difference between a person that's successful and unsuccessful is that the successful person is dedicated and committed and disciplined, right, in their craft. So mastering their craft and knowing that, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. And I know this wave of, like, social media and instant gratification, like, that's just not how it works. Like, especially when you want to be great at something, right? And then the second piece is knowing that, you know, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You might have to sacrifice that girl, right? You might have to sacrifice, you know, that TV. You might have to sacrifice, you know, that bread at the time. And I think that's something that we have to understand, like, in order for us to be able to get to a level, to be able to be successful, like, you have to sacrifice some things. And if I leave that with y'all today, right, like, I care about each and every one of y'all. Like, impact is everything to me. I left CAL FIRE to be able to start this nonprofit organization to help young brothers like you to be able to be successful in life. And I think it's a great prime opportunity for us to think about not only just firefighting, but other different career paths. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be, you know, a police officer, lawyer, doctor, like, we can be able to make that happen. You know, it's just about you looking for mentors, you know, trying to figure out what's the steps to be able to make that happen, and lean in and be, you know, aggressive with it and say, hey, you know what, this is what I want to do. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't do anything. When I came home from prison, you know, it wasn't a true pathway. So I had to blaze my own lane. And so that's why you might have to do that too. And I think, like, I know some of y'all still talking in the back right there, but I'm talking to y'all too. Like, y'all have to understand the importance of your self-belief and knowing that you can accomplish anything you want. You just got to have your mind made up and dedicated to it. And if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you can be able to make it happen.
Y'all can clap for that. Y'all can clap for that.
Well, Chief, because you have impacted us so, and the work that you've done in this state has been so important that every year we give an award, all right? And this year's award is going to you. So I think somebody's going to bring this award out from the back. I saw them standing right there with the award. Okay, they moved to this side. So Chief Rainey, can everybody stand to their feet?
Make some noise, y'all. Come on now. Come on now.
For your work that you've done, and you've proven that mistakes don't define you, WayMaker wants to present you the Making a Difference Award.
Wow, come on now. Making a Difference Award, y'all. Make some noise. That's Chief Roy Ramsey, baby.
And Chief, you know, we also want to give you something else.
Whoa.
We know you have your foundation. We are giving you $5,000 donation to your foundation.
Give it up for that, man. Boy, we giving out money here, baby, the WayMakers.
The work that you have done has saved lives and has made a difference in people who look like us, we know. So we want to thank you, we want to encourage you, and we want to inspire you to continue to do that work and continue to making a difference for our community and for our families. Thank you so much. Give them another round of applause.
Y'all make some noise. Chief Roy Ramsey and the one and only Mr. Lewis Carr.
I just want to say real quick, thank you for this award. This is very impactful to me. I want to dedicate this award to my great-grandma because she's my WayMaker. She believed in me when I was still in the streets and running around like yeah, thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Got it.